Oh, we missed on QuickBooks. QuickBooks is
Yeah,
straightforward.
QuickBooks. Well, it's pretty straightforward, but I mean, I think it's important for tax time, like we was talking about Marcus and myself. I think I got the same issue too. I'll leave my QuickBooks not updated and reconcile for a little while, then I have to go back in and catch everything up. But it's pretty easy. You can get a system to go in and just reconcile stuff, especially if you got things running through credit cards, and you use a business credit card. I think that's good practice. Use a business credit card to kind of categorize things, and if it's always on the credit card, it's always a business expense, and then you can just start separating expenses, business personal, reconcile it, everything, and it's done.
Yeah, and that's a good point too. If you have multiple business credit cards, you can, kind of segment it. Use one card for a certain type of transaction, use another card for another type of transaction, and that helps that automation in QuickBooks. But if you're starting to have a whole bunch of transactions, it could be difficult.
It can be.
Man, like I haven't had to delve into the QuickBooks aspect of it yet, get into it, but I remember basically having to keep track of those types of statements and invoices when I work corporate. Mm-hmm. And that stuff is a nightmare if you end up getting too far behind. Yeah. Like you get a couple weeks. You go a couple weeks to month behind. Like you got to dedicate a full business day or two just to inputting and going back and inputting information so everything's on point. Man, that's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't really. And one of my big pushes to make sure everything is straight and up to date weekly is cash flow. We always go back to that, is to really understand where cash flow is. And especially when you're in a growing business, you need to know exactly where your expenses are going. Is it going towards growth? Is it going towards routine expenses, training, whatever? So you can get ahead of it quickly. Because hey, just because you're making money and you're making more than what you're spending doesn't mean it's a good choice. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Another thought I thought about too is that initially, and I think just going back to the mindset of making that transition and getting to a business that you want this business to run without you. We get excited about the money, but you got to keep that in mind. You want the business to run without you. Think about everything that you're doing and what you can make sure that something does it for you. Because at the end, if you're going to leave, then that thing's not going to get done. So paperwork, and I think we all probably guilty of this. Oh, well, we just do it this way and we'll do it that way and we'll save the cost on this tool, right? And in the end, it ends up burning you because you're trying to save the money versus invest the money in a good tool that's going to work consistently without you. And it ends up hurting you, And I knew from the jump when I started this, I suck at paperwork. I suck at it. So my thing was getting a good software to create my schedule and my routes for me. And even my admin, she'll get in the habit of doing it herself. And I say, okay, you can do that yourself, but even her, I want somebody to replace her. I want her to be a manager. I don't want her doing scheduling. So I say to her, hey, I know you can do it yourself, but we're going to hire someone else to replace you. You got to think, can they do it without you?
Yes.
Are they going to do it the way you do it? So we need to make sure that we are creating duplicatable things that we can do and leave people to train them to do what we did.
And there you have it.